What if this ordinary-looking 1983 Washington quarter is worth more than just 25 cents? Look closely at this coin. At first, it may look like nothing more than an old quarter that has been sitting around for decades. But there is one reason I would not spend this coin before checking it carefully. This is a 1983 Washington quarter. And today we're going to take this coin apart, detail by detail. We're going to look at the date, the mint mark, the condition, the surface, the design, and the details that could make a 1983 quarter more interesting to collectors. And here's the part I really want you to hear. Not every 1983 quarter is valuable, but some examples in exceptional condition can be worth dramatically more than face value. So the real question isn't simply, is a 1983 quarter old? The real question is, what exactly do we have here? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for if you have a 1983 Washington quarter in your collection. Number 1983. Why this year matters. Let's start with the most obvious detail. The date on this coin is 1983. That means this quarter has been around for more than 4 decades. Think about that. This little piece of metal has survived more than 40 years of circulation, handling, storage, and everyday use. Millions of quarters were made during this era, so simply being from 1983 doesn't automatically make a coin rare. But here's where coin collecting gets interesting. 2 coins can have the same date and still have very different collector values. Why? Because collectors care about much more than the date. They care about the mint mark, condition, strike quality, surface preservation, and varieties or errors. And that's exactly why we're not going to stop at 1983. We're going deeper. The front of the coin. Now let's look closely at the front. We can see George Washington facing left. Above his portrait is the word liberty, and to the left of Washington's portrait we can see In God We Trust. These are the familiar details that make this immediately recognizable as a Washington quarter. But when you're searching coins, don't just look at the big picture. Zoom in. Look at the letters. Look at the numbers. Look around Washington's portrait. Look at the rim. Look for unusual doubling, strange shapes, missing details, or anything that doesn't look normal. The important clues on a coin can sometimes be extremely small. The mint mark. Don't miss this. Now comes one of the most important things you need to check. The mint mark. A small letter can tell you where a coin was produced. And this is one of the reasons I always tell people, never identify an old coin by the date alone. If you find a 1983 quarter, don't simply say, I have a 1983. You want to know, is it a 1983P? Is it a 1983D? Or is it another issue? That tiny letter can be extremely important when you're researching a coin. So take your quarter, turn it over, use a good light, zoom in with your phone camera, and check carefully. Because sometimes the smallest detail is the detail that separates one coin from another. Condition. This is where things get serious. Now let's talk about the condition of this particular coin. You can see that this quarter has been circulated. There is visible wear on the surface, and some of the finer details aren't as sharp as they would be on a coin that was protected from circulation. And this matters. A coin that has been heavily circulated is usually worth much less than an example that has survived in exceptional uncirculated condition. In fact, this is one of the most interesting things about the 1983 Washington quarter. According to current collector price guides, ordinary circulated 1983p quarters can be worth only modest amounts, while exceptionally high-grade examples can bring much stronger prices. Site turn search 12 turn searchy. So when someone asks, how much is my 1983 quarter worth? The Corey exact coin, the grade matters, the mint mark matters, the variety matters, and the actual condition matters. Don't clean this coin. Now listen carefully, because this could save you from making a very expensive mistake. If you find an old quarter like this, do not clean it. Don't use toothpaste. Don't use metal polish. Don't use chemicals. Don't scrub it until it shines. Why? Because cleaning can damage the original surface of the coin. And once that original surface has been damaged, you can't simply put it back. A coin that looks dirty to you may actually be more desirable to a collector in its original condition. So if you find an old quarter, leave it alone. Take clear pictures, identify it, research it, and only then decide what to do. Could there be an error? Now we come to one of the most exciting parts of coin hunting: errors. When collectors examine coins, they sometimes look for genuine, mint-made errors. But there is a very important difference between an error and damage. A scratch doesn't automatically mean an error. A dent doesn't automatically mean an error. A strange mark caused by circulation doesn't automatically mean an error. A genuine mint error has to be connected to the manufacturing process. That's why you should never look at one strange mark and immediately assume you found a fortune. Instead, compare the feature carefully with known examples. If something looks unusual, take close-up photographs. Get a second opinion. And if the coin appears genuinely significant, professional authentication can be worth considering. The big value question. Now let's answer the question you've probably been waiting for. How much can a 1983 Washington quarter be worth? Here's the honest answer. A normal circulated example isn't automatically worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. But that's not the end of the story. High-grade 1983 quarters can be much more interesting. For example, current PCGS price guide data shows substantial premiums for certain high-grade 1983P and 1983D examples, with the highest grades reaching into the hundreds or even thousands, depending on the issue and grade. Cite in search, and that's exactly why condition matters so much. Imagine finding a 1983 quarter tip protected in a collection, rather than being carried around in pockets. Same year, same basic design, but potentially a completely different collector market. That's what makes coin hunting exciting. Hack, the secret is not the date. It's the details. So here's the biggest lesson from today's coin. Don't look at a coin and ask only, how old is it? Ask, what exactly am I looking at? Check the date, check the mint mark, check the condition, check the lettering, check the surfaces, check the edge, check both sides, and then compare the coin with reliable references. Because sometimes the difference between an ordinary coin and a collectible coin is not obvious at first glance. It's hidden in the details. Check your coins tonight. And now I want you to do something. After watching this video, go through your old quarters. If you find a 1983 Washington quarter, don't spend it immediately. Put it under a good light. Take your phone, zoom in. Check the date, check the mint mark. Look at the surface, look at Washington's portrait, look at the lettering, look at the rim, and then compare what you see with known examples. You might discover that your coin is completely ordinary, and that's okay, but you might also discover something worth investigating. And that's the whole reason collectors search through old coins. You never know what you'll find until you look. Final, keep them watching. So after everything we've seen today, what do we really know about this 1983 Washington quarter? We know the date is real. We know we're looking at a Washington quarter. We know condition is extremely important. And we know that not every 1983 quarter is automatically rare or expensive. But we also know something very important. A 1983 quarter should not be judged by its date alone. The mint mark, condition, variety, and possible errors can completely change the story. And that's why I would never tell someone to simply look at an old coin and throw it back into their change. Look first, research second, spend it last. Because sometimes a coin that looks completely ordinary can have a detail that makes collectors stop and take another look. If you enjoyed this coin hunt, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more rare coin discoveries. And tell me in the comments, do you have a 1983 Washington quarter? If you do, check the mint mark and condition before you spend it. Because you may have just found a coin that's a lot more interesting than it first appeared. Thanks for watching. And remember, every coin has a story. You just have to look closely enough to find it.